to Cosmos with Cosmos High in the Sky edition. I'm Liz,
I'm
of
Mike.
course.
And I'm Brandon.
And of course, in this show, we're going to go over some stuff you can find in the night and early morning sky. And then we will end with a fun little constellation story.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like the good old days in the planetarium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a audio planetarium show.
And just like planetarium shows, I am also drunk. Oh, wait.
Oh, that would be amazing. Ride the Mobius.
Oh,
well, I did it. I did
maybe.
it accidentally. I did it accidentally once. It was after the end of the day, and we had to get like adult programming later. And I went to go to a Rose and Crown to have a couple of drinks and watch some soccer games. It was fine. And then I thought I was just fine given the show. It was a really good show I gave. But yeah, when the Mobius ring came up, I realized, oh shit. I'm not ready for the spins, man.
It'll get ya. It'll get ya. All right. So if you're listening, thanks for joining us. Of course, follow us on all the things. The Twitters at Drinking Cosmos, the Instagrams, and all the streaming things at Cosmos with Cosmos. All that
good stuff.
technical biddle babble. I don't know what words I just made up. And of course, as always with our full show, there are rules. So play along, everyone. So if you hear any dogs barking, that's a drink. Any Star Wars references, Lord of the Rings references, take a drink. Yeah. And of course, in this current pandemic, if anybody coughs, take a drink.
Take a drink.
Yes. So we're going to kick it off with Mike with some astronomy news and events of the upcoming weeks.
No, Liz, do it right, or not at all.
Okay. I gotta get ready.
Down.
I gotta get ready for it here. Okay.
Getting the right frame of mind. Let's go back in time, almost 100 years.
All right, everyone, welcome to High in the Sky for the week of April 5th, 2020 through April 18th, 2020. And to kick us off, we have Mike George with the astronomy news and events of the week. Mike, take it away.
Oh my god, yes.
That's how you gotta do the story.
Oh, God.
All right, well, there's just a few things. Astronomers have figured out a way. It was almost a year ago that they took the picture of the black hole.
Yeah.
The event horizon. It was April of last year.
Oh.
Astronomers have figured out a way of making a sharper image of that. And so with future images of the shadow of the black hole, we might actually get really sharp images of it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So they should partner with Sharper Image.
I was thinking the same thing. Is there a time frame where we may get to see that sharper image?
It sounds like that they have it kind of figured out now, and so with subsequent images, they might be able to do it. What'll end up happening is they'll probably release the original picture, and then they'll go through and do this because they got to do kind of a deep dive into the data to get these sharper black hole images.
Cool.
So stay tuned. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll come back to this one, but Voyager 2 and Uranus. So when Voyager 2 flew past Uranus, apparently Uranus has just farted on it, and which is really funny.
Yes.
All right. So
yes.
It's my inner middle school.
You could say out. Voyager got gassed.
Yep. All right. So January 24th, 1986, the Voyager 2 flew past Uranus at 50,600 miles above the tops of the atmosphere, cloud tops. Discovered 2 new rings. Discovered 11 moons. Discovered that Uranus is about 353 degrees below zero Fahrenheit, and it got farted on by the planet. Basically, this magnetic bubble, for lack of a better word, carried ions. It's called a plasmoid. Carried ions out, and it's a way for planets to lose atmosphere, and and we didn't know about this really at the time in 1986, but we have since kind of figured it out, and astronomers were looking at the data again here recently, and that's when they discovered it. So
I'm gonna call all my farts plasmoids from now on.
Plasmoids is such a cool word.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so Uranus crop dusted Voyager. That's awesome. Thanks, Jack.
Excuse me, I just had a little plasmoid. Sorry. Plasmoid. Don't worry about it. Who plasmoided in here?
Leia.
Yeah, it's always Leia.
Oh God, vicious.
Anyway, what else?
So, what pandemic is not? I mean, what catastrophe in the entire history of the world was not foretold by a comet? Right?
They've all been foretold.
They're
all in prophecy.
They've all been prophesized.
The prophecy.
Well, we have a comet that's coming. It's not. I mean, you can probably see it now with the telescope, but in May, it actually might be bright enough to see with the unaided eye.
The doom.
And it goes by the beautiful name of C 2019 Y4 Atlas.
Oh.
Ooh.
Nice.
You know, that's not as bad as it usually can be.
No,
yeah, that's true.
No,
it's
but
pretty
still,
tame.
Still.
Like Y4 Atlas, like Y482 Atlas.
It's still a sexy name now. All right, so Atlas stands for Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Blast Alert System.
I mean, of course it does.
Yeah.
Naturally.
All right, so in May, if it's visible to the unaided eye, you'll be able to see it in the northwestern part of the sky. It does reach perihelion, its closest approach to the sun, on May 31st.
Oh.
So next month. It's currently magnitude 8. Now, the reason why astronomers are kind of excited about it is because just 2 weeks ago it was magnitude 15. And they were not predicting it to be...
That's a big increase.
A very big increase. They were, well, I don't know if anybody remembers, but the magnitude is a logarithmic scale.
Sure.
So magnitude 9, I believe, is like 10 times dimmer than magnitude 8. And so this is a huge jump.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so they were not expecting it to be very bright, but then it made this big jump, which appears to be intrinsic to the comet itself.
It's just real bright.
Yeah, and they think it's going to be really bright. I had read that maybe magnitude 4.5, which you got to remember. Okay, so it's kind of a diffuse, so it's that brightness is spread out, and so but still you might be able to see it after sunset. It has a path similar to the Great Comet of 1844 and 1845.
The Great Comet of 1844.
Nicely done. It's not the same comet, but it could be a fragment that was broken off.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So this comet actually has a period of 5,520 years.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Right.
so catch it now, folks.
Yeah, so if you don't see it now,
You'll
wait
never
up.
see it.
Now you say it's on the same path. Where could we possibly see that in the sky if it gets up to magnitude 4.5?
In the northwest.
Cool.
Northwest. Northwest in May.
Look to
All
the
right.
northwest in May.
I know that right now it's near the Big Dipper.
Okay.
I'll have to look up to where it's going to be. I mean, as we get closer to it, we'll have more announcements about it.
Yeah.
But right now, it is south and east of the bowl of the Big Dipper, I believe.
Okay.
So, and there's these really cool. I'll have to see if I can make it in Digistar for the images for this podcast. But it does this really cool corkscrew. And then makes this omega looking thing, and then does another little corkscrew.
Wow.
That sounds confusing.
Well, I mean, it's still an elliptical orbit,
Yeah.
but if you place where it is in the sky, it does all this.
Oh.
funky
That's neat.
God. Astrologers are going to have a field day with this.
I don't know, Jack's asking me where is perihelion. I'll have to.
What is its perihelion?
Oh, what is its perihelion?
Oh.
What is its perihelion?
So
it is actually inside of of Mercury's orbit. It's like 0.26 AU, I believe.
Perihelion is the closest point in an object's orbit to the sun.
Mm-hmm. And how do you remember that? It's because the perihelion, the object, gets very close.
I've never heard that.
I thought you were gonna like break it down entomology wise.
Very close.
Very close. All right, so we got comets, we got black holes, we got farts. Brandon?
Thank you, Mike George. That was Mike George with the astronomy news and events of the week. Now it's time for rocket launches of the week with Brandon Riddle. Brandon, take it away.
Well, thank you, Liz. If you remember from the last High in the Sky episodes, we had actually a busy week for rocket launches. But it turns out that busy week turned out to be slightly less busy than we thought. So, for example, we had the Chinese launch the Long March 7A from March 16th. However, when it launched, there was an unspecified failure, and the satellite failed to reach orbit. Being a Chinese rocket, we have no idea what the failure was. But we just coronavirus, yeah. A little virus got into the machines. It's like Independence Day all over again, but we're the aliens. Anyway, that one failed.
Okay.
And then we had the Astra Space rocket 3.0. Remember that one that was supposed to launch? There was a pre-launch anomaly that prompted emergency responses, and the whole area was cordoned off, and there was hazardous material all over the place. Don't know what happened there. Coronavirus. And so that one will be relaunched at a date to be decided later when there is not a coronavirus.
All right, 2 failed rockets so far. Cool.
Oh, we're not done yet.
Uh-oh.
We're not done. Remember that Electron company, the Electron rocket from Rocket Lab launching down New Zealand? Yeah. And this rocket was called Don't Stop Me Now?
Yeah.
Well, it was stopped.
Oh, no.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, actually, yes, that was coronavirus.
Oh, my God.
So 0 for 3 right there.
Cool. Great job, Space.
But all the other launches from last week, they went off well, successful. ULA and SpaceX both launched their rockets. Cool.
Of course they did.
So looking forward to rocket launches, we have one on April 9th. This is a Soyuz Russian rocket going to the ISS with people on board.
Oh, people!
People launch. This is mission 625, expedition, rather, 625.
Are they in quarantine?
They are. They've been in quarantine for the last 2 weeks, and one of the astronauts, I hate that I've forgotten his name. I've met him a couple times. He's really cool. So I'm hoping everything's going to work out well.
Okay, all right, cool. So as long as they don't have coronavirus, that's...
Yeah. They've been quarantined for at least 2 weeks now.
Yeah, that's like the safest place to be right now is on the ISS. Like, get me up in the fucking ISS. I'll float around. I'll be more than happy to float around.
I'm more than happy to work from home from ISS.
Water droplets all day.
Well, that kind of...
I know that's not what astronauts do. That's what I would do because I have no training. So I would just be there hanging out. That's what would be going on. And just making a mess of the ISS, just destroying it.
So speaking of working from home with the ISS, kind of look forward. Lots of NASA centers are completely shut down. They go in stages. Stage 1's like, hey guys, there's a cold out there, be careful. Stage 4 is straight up, don't come to work, telecommute everything, and don't you dare travel. So the people that are in Houston that are in charge of the ISS, they're at stage 4. So a lot of them are still working from home, but also trying as much as they can to get into the NASA center to make sure the ISS stays in space.
That'd be important. Yeah.
Yeah. But Kennedy Space Center, they're telecommuting. Like all of NASA centers right now are telecommuting, which is kind of intense.
Wow.
And that also means that a lot of work on missions and such on robots, they're kind of coming to a pause at the moment, like the SLS, the Space Launch System. All work's paused on that. That's supposed to launch this year or next year, which this year ain't happening now, thanks Corona.
Wow, it's already so delayed too.
Yeah. Also, the James Webb Space Telescope, that's being suspended too.
No.
Oh no, it all sucks.
That was also delayed already.
Oh, it's so delayed. But Perseverance, the new Mars rover that's supposed to launch this year,
Uh-huh,
is at
uh-huh.
NASA's highest priority. So they are making sure this thing gets done at least.
Oh, I hope so.
Uh-huh.
And that's July, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's coming up soon. Ooh, it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Oh, and then the current Mars rover Curiosity,
Mhm.
those peeps, they're working from home, but they've rigged up the software in such a way that they can still drive the rover from home,
Oh, God.
which is super cool.
I want that job. I want to just sit there, program some code, and be like, all right, well, 7 minutes. So we'll go. Well, I know
Forward
that's
on
not how it works,
Mars.
but forward 2 feet. Turn.
Yeah, that's a kick-ass job, though.
I know, that's
Just
so cool.
Hanging out in your chair at home.
I'd have a joystick
Netflix.
just to pretend I was
Oh.
driving it.
Oh,
Remember, like in the late 90s, you had Mech Warrior? Like how cool that felt? That's what
No.
you're doing now. You playing Mech Warrior on Mars on your home computer.
Thank you.
Just
me?
Brandon.
Okay,
It's
never
just
mind.
you. I don't know.
All right, that's
I
fine.
don't know.
Anyway, the European Space Agency and Russia, they have the joint mission to Mars with the rover Rosalind Franklin. That's been delayed.
Oh, yeah, I heard that was delayed. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
the entire world is delayed.
Everything's delayed.
Oh man.
But
And
we're gonna get back to work on Tuesday, though. That's not delayed.
Okay.
Tuesday, absolutely. We'll do one piece of good news and then one piece of bad news.
Oh, okay.
Bad news first.
Yeah,
Bad news first. Oh man, this is kind of a kick in the gut to me. So Bigelow Aerospace was a company founded like 15 years ago or so, and the billionaire who founded this company was so set on making space hotels, these huge expandables in space that put dozens of people up there, rich people, and kind of live up there for a while on vacation. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay.
And advanced to the point where they actually got a couple of the modules, one called Beam, on the ISS. So there's a current Bigelow module on the space station. So they actually moving forward and making things. They're going to make one called the B330. It's this huge module, 330 square feet of room, which is a huge area. But they have laid off all their staff, which is a huge bummer.
Wow.
Yeah, but they are looking to hire them back.
Yeah.
Once all this, but once you lay off staff, though.
And also, they had some existing financial issues. Recently, NASA put out a call for another module to be put up there in space, and Bigelow wasn't able to compete because NASA, quote unquote, like only offered 330 million or something like that, and that wasn't enough for Bigelow, so they had to drop out. So they've had some issues earlier this year and last year, and this was just the perfect storm of problems that came up. So it sucks. Hopefully they can bounce back, but it doesn't look good right now.
Man.
All right, Honey Badger Sugar Possum is suggesting that every time we drink, every time a coronavirus ruins something.
That's all the time. That's everything. It's constant.
So,
it's just constant. Just feed this into my bloodstream.
I know,
my
right?
IV at that point.
Ooh.
Just.
All right. Everybody just constantly drink. That's all we're doing.
All
I mean, that's what I'm doing anyway.
One more piece of bad news, since we're drinking to it. OneWeb, which was a company that was going to make a mega constellation in space to produce broadband internet to the entire world, like SpaceX is doing, and like Amazon wants to do, and a couple other companies, they declared bankruptcy as well.
Wow.
And they already have 74 satellites in orbit, and they had 531 employees that were let go.
Ooh.
And this was a $3.4 billion company.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And they were still technically a startup company, so they were still raising funds. They needed another like $4 billion to really be successful.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's just not working right now. Thanks, Corona. Drink.
Oh, man, damn it. All right, what's the
The
good
good news.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some good news. So last week, I think this was on Tuesday or Wednesday, SpaceX won the NASA Commercial Crew Cargo to go to the Gateway when that gets built. And if you're unfamiliar, the Gateway, first of all, go listen to the podcast of Future Human Spaceflight. We talk all about that with a rocket scientist. It's like a space station that's going to be on the Lagrange point near the moon. It's going to hang out by the moon. We'll send people up there, and people go from the gateway down to the lunar surface, back to the gateway, back to Earth. So it's like a pit stop in space, if you will.
Okay.
So SpaceX won a contract to send people to the gateway using the Dragon XL capsule. So cool.
Woohoo!
Okay.
And that'll be in 2024-ish,
Wow.
which in space is really soon, actually.
Provided coronavirus has not killed us all.
Provided coronavirus doesn't kill us all. Yes, Mike.
Drink, people.
Drink.
Entering the post-apocalyptic future.
I'm still waiting for the fucking zombies. I want a zombie to walk down the street.
Man,
Aren't we all?
First of all, they can't get into one of our doors.
No, because we can't
get into one of our doors.
We need a new doorknob. That's what that means. All right. Well, that was fun. Thanks, Brandon.
A lot of bad news. Some
of
good
bad
news.
You want me to do the thing, don't you?
yeah. That's why I'm here.
Thank you, Brandon, for the rocket launches of the week, followed with just some astronomy, general space industry news of the week, because apparently not a lot of shit's getting launched in space right now. So we're going to continue on with Liz with what's happening in night sky. Liz, take it away. Thank you. 1940s me.
You would have done great.
All right, so of course this is high in the sky, so let's talk about some shit that's up in the sky that you can see after the sun goes down, because when the sun's up, you can't see anything.
Except for the sun.
Except for the sun, and you don't want to look at that directly.
No.
No.
Unlike our president.
Yeah, but you can look at like clouds and shit and imagine pictures in them, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at night you get to see a lot more cool shit. So after sunset, the yeah, I'll do a audio cut right here. Just reading this Twitch quote or Twitch comment. yeah. It's how you get zombies. You know what? You know zombies are going to be because of wealthy white women. Wealthy liberal white women. That's how you get zombies and unvaccinated children.
Thanks, Gwyneth
Which
Paltrow.
then turn into zombies because they're going to die of diseases. Anyway.
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow and who's that? Who is she?
Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Anyway. Rein it in. All right. So at night, there is a very bright planet that you can spot that is setting in the west early in the evening, and that is the planet Venus. It's been up there for the past few weeks, just hanging out, going out with the sun. Very bright.
They're brightest object in the sky.
Cool to look at, hot to go to, but cool to look at. So you can check that out. I don't know what phase it's in. I think it was it must have been pretty close to full a little bit ago because it was like super bright.
Oh wow. Okay.
So and we do observe it go through phases like our moon, and that's one of the ways that Galileo, when he saw that, he was like, "Aha! The Earth is not at the center of the solar system. The sun is. Boom, gotcha, bam."
And then the church was like, "Well, okay, we're mad at you now."
Yeah. Check out another episode. We talk about that shit. Anyway, so the newer, more springtime constellations that are coming up now in the east. One of those is Sagittarius.
Ooh, Sagittarius.
Sagittarius the Archer. We're going to hear a little bit more about him later.
But what's he also known as?
He's also
Legolas?
known as...
With the unending quiver.
Unending quiver.
Yeah. Also,
yeah,
drink.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings reference. Except this archer has 4 legs because it's a centaur, which is a half horse, half man creature from Greek mythology. But it's also known as the teapot.
A teapot. Actually looks like a teapot.
It looks like a teapot. The main
Yeah.
part of Sagittarius you see, which is basically his body and part of his bow, I guess, is it looks like a giant teapot in the sky.
Right.
So it'll be towards the southeast. It'll rise a little bit later in the evening after Leo. So you got to stay up a little bit late right now to see it. But it will be very obvious. And again, an app like Google Sky Maps or whatever the Apple one is can help you spot it. But it's really cool. I love finding the teapot.
Me too. You know, when I gave a planetarium show
Mhm.
a long time ago, I used to like to point out the entire like teapot because you can do all right. So you do the teapot.
Uh-huh.
Down below it, you can do the spoon.
Mhm,
Up
mhm.
above it, where he's like pulling back the bow,
Uh-huh.
is like a wedge of lemon,
Uh,
and
oh.
and if you include just the tail of Scorpius, there's your teacup. And the Milky Way actually is the
It's the
steam
steam coming
out of it.
Yeah, but I didn't know about the wedge of lemon and shit.
Well, that's
It was like it's like the spout, and then you have like the lid, and then you have the handle, and then it's tip me over, pour
I'm a
me
little
out.
teapot. Yeah,
Yeah.
short and stout.
I guess I should
But
go like this.
yeah, no, it's you have to include like the other stars, some of the other stars of Sagittarius, and that would be like the arm pulling back the arrow.
Okay.
And so I said that's the wedge of lemon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Look at that. Yeah, it's like a tea party in space. Exactly. I like Sagittarius. And there are a couple of deep sky objects in Sagittarius that you can't see with just your eyes because our eyes suck. Really, our eyes aren't great. And just as a species, they're not like the best eyes out there. But with binoculars and of course a telescope, you can see these. One is the Lagoon Nebula.
Ooh.
It's pretty. Google it. Get pictures. Get pictures of all the nebulae. Anyway, it's an emission nebula that's about 4,000 to 6,000 light years away, and so it's basically there's a nearby hot star that is like ionizing the gas around it, and so that causes it to pretty much glow, basically. And then you also have the Trifid Nebula. That's how I pronounce it. Am I doing it right? Trifid?
I call it trifid, but
Trifid?
whatever
You want.
Trifid sounds cool.
Whatever you feel like.
say I'm freaking confident.
Also
go
known
with
as M20 or Messier 20.
Ooh.
Yeah. And this is actually a combo of different shit. It's a star forming region, but it's like a combination of these like different sections of it because it looks like Trifid means like 3-sectioned object. But there is essentially a open cluster of stars, an emission nebula, a reflection nebula, and a dark nebula. And all of those things make what we view as the Trifid or Trifid Nebula. And in 2005, Spitzer Space Telescope, rest in peace, Spitzer. We love you. We miss you. It
Toast.
discovered toast to Spitzer.
Thanks, Spitzer.
Thanks.
Spitzy Spitz.
Spitzy Spitz. We love ya.
Miss you.
We miss him. Anyway. It's been decommissioned, in case you're wondering. So, in 2005, it discovered 30 embryonic stars.
Ooh.
They're just forming.
Little baby stars.
Little baby stars. They haven't started nuclear fusion yet. They're just coming together. And then 120 newborn stars that you can't see in visible light images.
Go pinch their cheeks and burn
That
their
is
hands
so
off.
fucking cool. Think about that. Spitzer telescope's able to see stars before they actually blow off that cocoon.
Yeah.
And reveal themselves to us.
Yeah, they're still in their little fetus of gas and dust.
And
Just collecting material, getting hotter, brewing away.
You know what else is also near? Speaking of embryonic stars and stuff, also near Sagittarius. I think it's a little north, kind of on a border of another constellation, is M16, not the gun, but the Eagle Nebula.
Oh, the Eagle!
Nebula!
Yes, this is definitely Google Eagle Nebula. Fucking.
But Google Pillars of Creation.
Yes.
It was taken by a good friend of the pod, Professor Jeff Hester, formerly of ASU. No, not an astronaut.
Funny story.
He took that picture with the Hubble Space Telescope, and it's just an amazing ass fucking picture. So Google it if you have not seen it, and it actually looks like an eagle. It's beautiful. It's one of the eagles from Lord of the Rings. It is. Went up into the sky after saving Frodo.
Oh, it's a drink, Mike.
Yes.
Mm. Also,
I still think those Eagles could have flown that ring all the way to
No.
fucking Mount Doom.
no, that's another episode, but we'll get into that later. They can't do that.
We know how to push those buttons. Those random buttons.
But thanks to Honey Badger Sugar Possum, I did think of a brand new song.
Uh-oh.
And it goes like, baby stars do 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 do,
Oh,
baby
God.
stars do 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 do, baby stars.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if anyone's done a parody with like Stellar Evolution or Stellar Birth.
Okay,
Big
we're
red.
doing it copyrighted. It's us. It's us. Nobody
We did
steal
it.
it.
We got
Red giant do
Start.
do 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 do, red giant do do. I don't know.
Jack, I'm looking specifically at you. Don't steal it.
it. Where did you look? Did you look at the camera?
I'm looking at the microphone.
I don't know why. Jack, are you in there?
Jack, you're in the microphone, man.
Anyway, thank you for sharing that about the Eagle Nebula. Definitely want to check that out. Also, Google the terms eggs and proplyds in relation to nebulae, because that's fun. We'll talk about that in, I'm sure, another episode on nebulae.
Or
Anyway.
Stellar Evolution.
Or
let me
Stellar
try again. On
Evolution.
Stellar Evolution.
We can do that. We can do that. All right. Okay. So another constellation that is going to be rising in the east late in the evening, and this is not a constellation that is actually really easily visible just with your eyes. It's a fairly faint constellation, but it's very large. I think it's one of the largest constellations in the northern hemisphere, at least. And this is where like an app will really help you out, and that is the constellation of Virgo.
Virgo, the Maiden of
Virgo,
Spring.
The Maiden of Spring, yes. I am a Virgo, but astrology is bullshit, so that means nothing.
I'm a Cancer.
No, you're not. We love you.
I am a blight on humanity.
All right, so Virgo, it has a couple deep space objects that are really fun. Both of them are galaxies, entire other galaxies similar to our own. They're both spiral galaxies. One of them is M51. Messier 51, and this one's called the Whirlpool Galaxy.
Ooh.
Because it looks like a whirlpool.
It's actually very beautiful.
Like a washing machine?
Exactly.
So
actually, the logo to the Whirlpool, I think, is like, it kind of look. I don't know if it's supposed to be it, but I just thought maybe it is.
I don't know.
Okay.
But wasn't the Whirlpool... Okay, so we're going to go back in time. Hubble Space Telescope, they take the first pictures blurry,
yeah.
but they put the contact lenses on it. And wasn't the first picture they released of the Whirlpool and just fucking amazing picture.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Yeah.
And we turned it into an all sky at the planetarium.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous, especially when it's not blurry as fuck.
And then another galaxy that is one of my favorite galaxies. I love this galaxy because it's a spiral galaxy, but you can't see the spiral arms because we are positioned head on with this galaxy. So you see the disk of gas and dust of this galaxy. So it's basically like if you looked at our galaxy head on with the plane of it, like this is, you would see a disk like this. And this galaxy is known as the Sombrero Galaxy.
It's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the dust band's going across it. So you got this dark band going across it. Oh god, we have so many pictures we have to put up when we put this episode up.
Yeah, and of course it looks like a giant sombrero, space brero.
Brero.
Nicely done.
Nice.
Yeah, space brero.
Nice.
I like that.
We should petition to get it renamed.
Yeah,
Space
brero. We probably just offended like an entire culture. Anyway,
well, that's what we do. We've offended Italy.
We're Americans,
offended all of Mexico apparently today. So hey,
and
working on the world.
So Google Sombrero Galaxy. It is beautiful, and isn't it is it larger than our galaxy? Isn't it like twice the size of our galaxy?
Twice the size. That's a big old galaxy.
Maybe not. I don't remember. I didn't think of looking that
'Cause,
up ahead of time.
I mean, the Milky Way ain't no slouch exactly, so
No,
twice
that's
its size is
true.
a monster. Oh, that's like, I guess,
Well,
Andromeda.
we'll come back to that. Mike's gonna look it up, and we'll circle
Oh, wait a minute.
back
What am I looking
around.
up? I'm responding to Jack.
Oh, just kidding. I thought
Ah,
you picked up your phone at the exact moment. I was like, I don't remember. I didn't look up how big it is.
How big is what?
The Sombrero Galaxy.
All right, I'll look it up.
Okay, now he's gonna look it up. All right. Anyway, so let's just go to a couple of events, actually moon events, if you will. Well, they're not both moon events. Just kidding. I take that back. But the moon is involved in both of them. The first one, April 8th, there will be a full moon. Cool. What's happening? It happens.
Wait.
Yes.
I was gonna say you have to lock up your werewolves,
Lock up
just
your
so
werewolves.
they don't get out.
That's true.
Number one.
Yes, lock them up. Heavy chains, double chains.
Looking at you,
actually.
Lupus.
Yes. So full moon, and then on April 14th, in the early morning, you have, and of course, we'll talk about in a minute what's going to be up in the early morning, but you have Moon, Jupiter, and Pluto. They come together in a close approach within Sagittarius. Now, you can see 2 of the 3 out of those objects. Pluto, you're gonna need like a Hubble Space Telescope to see it. So, but it's there. It's there. Trust that Pluto's hanging out with them. Did you find it?
Okay, I have a size.
Oh,
Thank you, Wikipedia.
The most trusted source on the net.
Well, it actually is a lot better now.
It is better.
Yeah, it's really good. I like it.
I mean, it's better than like
It
Fox
is
News.
a lenticular galaxy. It is about 31 million light years away from Earth. And it has a diameter of about 49,000 light years.
So it's half the size of our galaxy.
Yeah, it's 30% the size of the Milky Way.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was twice the size or half the size of our galaxy. So,
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep. So, for everybody on Twitch, you want to put my phone closer to the camera?
Oh.
That's what it looks like.
Ooh,
Yes, beautiful. One of my fucking favorites. Always.
What is your favorite galaxy that's not the Milky Way?
Oh, it's Andromeda. Just because I have the first time that I saw it through a telescope was just, it's like seeing Saturn through a telescope for the first time. So I have this visceral, emotional connection to it, just from seeing it that way. And so it's the Andromeda Galaxy, M31, by far. Though, I mean, I love the Sombrero Galaxy. Since I've never looked at it through a telescope, I don't have that connection.
I really like. Well, I would say the Sombrero Galaxy is probably my favorite because it's not. I would say that it's rare that we have images of galaxies where we're right on the plane of them to see them at that angle, and that demonstrates a concept about our being in our own Milky Way that you can't really visualize on your own, but that helps to be like, hey, see this plane of gas and dust, that's what we live in our galaxy.
Yeah.
And then I also really like, just because the images are the antennae galaxies.
Oh,
the antenna
yes.
galaxies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brandon.
They're colliding. By the way, the antennae galaxy are colliding galaxies.
Yeah, they're colliding galaxies. They're in the process of merging together, which is amazing, and I love it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say I love when galaxies are colliding and the imagery that it evokes and you can see. So as much as I love Andromeda, that you can actually see it and how magical it is in the telescope, seeing pictures from Hubble or whatever and seeing the galaxies collide is just so flippin' cool. So pretty much any galaxies that are colliding are my favorites.
Yes.
Gonna give a blanket statement there.
Hang out for a few billion years. And you'll see us in the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yeah, maybe
collide.
We'll have a spacecraft out by then that can take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Selfie that merger.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Andromeda. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get a selfie with us.
Well, I mean, it takes some time for them to merge, so they got time to take that picture.
It's a slow motion train wreck, is what it is.
Oh, Jack, he likes the Pinwheel Galaxy. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
That's a good
one.
one.
That was a
That
really
one
good
has
one.
so many spiral arms to
Yeah.
it.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing, Jack. So let's go ahead and move to before sunrise, which are the same planets that we've been seeing before sunrise.
Because shit doesn't move fast.
I know it takes some time,
Except
so
Mercury.
You can see things over a long period of time.
You know, but the first high in the sky that we did, Mercury was in the evening sky, and now it's in the morning sky.
Yeah. Well, Mercury doesn't go far from the sun.
Nope, and it does move fast.
It does move fast, so it's either right before sunrise or right after sunset. And unfortunately, if you live in an area that is very mountainy, you have a lot on your horizon. You're really not going to see it. You really need like a flat horizon, just a clear horizon.
Yeah, I almost drove off the road first time I saw Mercury.
Yeah, you told that
I've
story
almost
last
driven
time.
off the road twice.
Oh, right. No, this
Yes.
is the second time. Yeah, because last
Yes.
time it was about seeing the Milky Way for the first time.
Yeah, I'm all about this shit. So
Stop looking at the sky when you're driving.
Well then, okay, you need to drive everywhere then.
I tend to try and look at the sky too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm driving to the Bay Area and I'm going like, hey,
You
there's
get
Orion.
really dark skies and you happen to glance
Well-
out the window at the sky and you're like, oh shit, look at
No,
all that.
When I was driving from Phoenix back to Oklahoma City, I'm in the middle of nowhere at like 10 o'clock at night, and there's no one around me. I'm going straight, so I kind of poke my head out, see as far as I can see, like, what kind of stars do we get? Oh, nope, looking at the road. Can I keep looking again? What can I see? Nope, looking at the road. I get it.
Don't let
This is what we do.
planetarians drive in rural areas at night.
This is what we do. We're more concerned about the night sky than we are about driving.
Yeah. Priorities.
It's gonna be the death of me.
Well, let's hope not.
What?
I said, well, let's hope not.
Well, you get a lot of
It'll be
money.
the COVID. Anyway, so
Okay. I am not in the dangerous age zone.
I think
Danger
everybody's in the danger
zone.
zone.
Yeah, we are.
Everybody. Anyway, okay, so aside from Mercury, that you probably aren't going to be able to see, you have Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars still hanging out in the early morning sky. In fact, the dogs require me to feed them at like 5:30 in the morning, so I have to get up early every day to feed them, and then I have to let them out to go to the bathroom.
And when we were going to the gym,
And
the
when
gym
we're-
gods required us
Yes,
to see it.
and the gym gods. But so I'd go outside, and so in the past few mornings, I've been going outside while the dogs go potty, and I've been able to spot them. And I'm like, oh, there they are. It's cool. Like
Meanwhile,
Jupiter's
they're
the
just happy
brightest one.
to be peeing.
Mars is a little reddish, and then Saturn is kind of like a dim Jupiter.
Like, this almost makes waking up at 5:30 worth it,
Yeah,
but
well,
not really.
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, well, Leo's over here now, and Orion is setting, and it's nice and peaceful. It's
Yeah.
nice, and then I go back to bed. Usually. All right. Woo.
Should we tell a story?
Should we tell a story now?
Ooh, story time.
Story time.
Story time.
time.
Story time with Liz.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. We shall begin with the story of Sagittarius.
Ew.
Does Brandon want to make a comment on Sagittarius?
I would love to make a comment on Sagittarius. It is one of my favorite constellations for many reasons. One of which is because he is Phil from the Disney movie Hercules. And as we all know, Phil, Sagittarius, is up in the sky. And here's why. This is a direct quote from Phil. The the satyr that came from Satyrville, if you will.
Oh.
And that's actually Disney canon. Came from Satyrville. So he says this.
We're all about canon
For
here.
you trolls out there, this is canon. So
They can. And this is what he says. Yeah, I had a dream once. I dreamed I was going to train the greatest hero there ever was. So great, the gods would hang a picture of him up the stars, all across the sky. And people would say, that's Phil. That's Phil's boy. That's right. And it just gets you deep. And you know what, Phil? Not only did your boy get up in the sky, you did too.
oh, Phil.
Phil made it.
Oh, good old Phil. All right. So
Also known as Danny DeVito.
God, it's been so long since I've seen that Disney Hercules movie.
Get drunk and watch it. It's the best.
Should really.
Oh, we can watch it now.
And there are
Disney
so many
Plus.
good
We should.
songs.
Yeah, we should.
Because he puts the Glad in Gladiator.
Let's watch it. Let's watch it tonight. Oh my God.
Oh, let's do it. We'll
All
watch
right.
it drunk.
This
Yes.
is gonna be great. All right, so Sagittarius, aka Phil, is actually a constellation of Sumerian origin.
Oh,
Yeah,
not Greek.
not Greek, but
Sumerian.
yeah, but the Greeks kind of commandeered
They
it like
stole
they
everything.
did. Well,
Them and the Romans.
them and the Romans, but then also the 16th century people who then stole all the Greek shit and were like, yeah, we'll make that the sky.
I think you're looking at the guy named Ptolemy, which we talked
Yes.
about in the prior episode
Yes.
about constellations. Go listen to
Ptolemy's Almagest.
So
Almagest.
Oh, look at you! Well done.
I know some things.
nicely done.
Yes. So Sumerian, I'm gonna just go with me. Pa Bilsog.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I'm letting you take a moment, Mike. He needs.
It reminds me of Bulbasaur for no reason whatsoever.
All right. So
Say it with confidence.
Pa Bilsog, a god of war and hunting, who they depicted as a centaur-like archer with wings. And then it was adopted by the Greeks, and the wings cut off. I don't know why. Wings are pretty cool, but apparently the Greeks were like, no wings. That's what differentiates it between the Sumerians and us. Wings. So for the Greeks, now there is a story, but as you may know or come aware of, did I say Babylonian? Anyway, okay. The Greeks have a lot of different stories. They seem to be confused as to what each other thinks is up there. I don't know. There's a lot of different things that go on. But the main story is that Sagittarius or Chiron.
Sure.
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 All right.
Go with it.
Confidence.
Son of the Titan Kronos, basically differed from all the other centaurs. He was special.
He was like
special.
Rudolph.
He was like Rudolph. He was a special
Do you have
centaur.
a red nose?
And that's because Chiron was born half man and half horse, which is what you typically think of as a centaur, but that's just because we're mere mortals and we don't know any better. But the other centaurs are born of sun and rain clouds.
That's so cool.
I want that.
Right?
That's how I want to
Sun
be.
And rain clouds?
Hold up. So I'm thinking back to the Disney movie Hercules. And after Hercules is born, Zeus decides to give him a present. He takes a whiff of cloud, and I think a whiff of thunder or sun, and he creates Pegasus. Maybe there's a little thing going on there.
Hey, there you go. Well, horses are great, so I say that, especially for my
Especially when they're half man, I guess.
How would you feel? Would you like to
But-
have like the bottom
wait.
half of you be a horse?
I was gonna ask which half is horse.
The bottom half is horse. The top half is man. I don't know. Are there female centaurs? I don't. I guess no. I don't remember there being any in Xena. Warrior Princess.
some people say there are no female centaurs. They just spring out of the ground.
Everybody has a drink. Yeah, drink. Lord of the Rings reference.
Jack on
Two
Twitch
Towers.
says
Two Towers reference.
Jack on Twitch says maybe he was reverse centaur. Can you imagine? That's BoJack Horseman. That's BoJack Horseman. BoJack Horseman is a reverse centaur.
Whoa, mind blown.
Wow. Thanks for that, Jack. All right. So he was not sun and rain clouds. He was half man, half horse. That end of the deal. So one day Chiron was shot by a poisoned arrow by Hercules or Heracles.
Motherfucker. Hate that Hercules.
No, he's
You mean Huncules? Sorry.
He's okay when he was younger. Now he seems to be real conservative, so we don't want to fuck with that. But anyway, but Chiron, he was immortal, yet he couldn't heal himself. So basically he needed to die is what was going on. So in order to die, Chiron offered to replace Prometheus, who was punished by the gods for giving fire to man. And so Chiron gave up his immortality to release Prometheus from his chains, and Zeus saw that kindness and decided to honor him in the stars and place him up there.
I love that story so much.
It's such a nice story.
It is a nice story.
Or so we thought!
Oh,
There's more?
There's a
twist!
twist! There's a twist! So everybody in Greece, in Greek.
Everyone in Greek.
in
Yeah.
Greece. Cheers. It is like noon for us now, finally. So, good afternoon. There was confusion over Sagittarius and if Sagittarius was actually a centaur. There was a lot of debate about Sagittarius being a satyr, like Phil. So essentially, sometimes they say that he was misidentified as Chiron, whereas Chiron was actually, in fact, represented by the constellation of Centaurus, which can be found in the southern hemisphere.
I love this argument and this debate so much now.
You like it?
I didn't know this, and now I'm all about it.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, Centaurus is Chiron, and a Greek Aristophanes described Sagittarius as a two-legged creature with the tail of a satyr. He said that this figure was Crotus, son of Eupheme, the nurse to the Muses, who were 9 daughters of Zeus. The Roman mythographer, which, who knew that was a job? Mythographer? That sounds fun. I would have liked to. I want to major in mythography. That's nice. So the Roman mythographer, Hyginus, bet he washed his hands all the time. Am I right? Hey. In his fabulae, added the information that the father of Crotus was Pan, agreeing with Aristophanes that the archer was a satyr rather than a centaur.
Now, whatever Aristophanes says, I'm going to go with because he's my boy.
He's your boy?
But he's my boy. But it's difficult that the father of Cronus was Pan. That doesn't make sense to me. But let's continue.
Okay. Well, wait, did you say Crotus or Kronos?
Oh, see, I was thinking Kronos.
No. Crotus and Kronos are different.
My blueberry tequila has mixed up letters in my mind. There you go.
So Crotus, not Kronos.
And not Locutus.
And not Locutus of Borg. Wait, is that a rule? No, Star Trek's not a rule.
No. Thank God.
Okay, so Crotus was said to have invented archery, so the bow, and often went hunting on horseback. And yes. Wait. Hold on, I got lost. Okay, so Sagittarius is supposed to be Crotus. I got it. We're back. So he invented archery, went hunting on horseback. He lived on Mount Helicon among the Muses, and they sang for him and boosted his ego like a good woman should. And the Muses requested that Zeus placed him among the stars, where he is seen demonstrating the art of archery that he invented as a satyr.
Excellent.
So, there you go. Now, Aratus and Ptolemy, who we know of Ptolemy's Almagest, which is where the most of the constellations come from.
Nice.
You just wanted to say it a second time, didn't you?
I did. But they both were like, hey, the archer is a 4-legged creature, so it's a centaur, and blah blah blah.
All right.
Yeah. So generally, like if you go to a planetarium show, if they bring up Sagittarius, it's going to be that of a centaur archer.
Shooting at Scorpius.
Yep.
Fuck that scorpion. Fuck that scorpion in particular.
It is a scorpion.
But pointing towards the center of the Milky Way galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that helps.
where you can find Sagittarius, a star,
Boom.
black hole, the center of our galaxy, keeps our galaxy going.
Well, yeah, okay.
You know, let me go with it. All right.
We'll go with it.
Thank
Just
you.
keeps it going.
It's the heart of our galaxy.
It is the heart of the galaxy.
Yeah. So you could say that the heart of our galaxy is a black hole. Then we all have black holes for hearts.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway.
Wow, that got really dark.
These are dark times, Mike.
They are.
We can't distinguish between centaurs and satyrs anymore. Poor
Ooh.
Phil.
That's cool. Poor Phil. So I updated my Twitter profile to include amateur mythographer, and and I looked it up just to figure out what the hell is a mythographer, make sure I'm not doing anything weird. And it's a writer or collector of myths. So that sounds absolutely magical.
It
That
does.
does sound magical.
So I am now an amateur mythographer.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, Liz.
Well done.
I'm gonna put that on my resume now, and hopefully now we'll get the job.
Oh, we can too.
You can put amateur in front of anything and put it on a resume, can't
That's
you?
true.
Like we're amateur astronomers.
I'm an amateur
podcasters.
Yeah, amateur demigod. It all makes sense.
Hey, there you go. Whatever you want to be. So you really can be whatever you want to be.
Ah.
As long as you use the word amateur for legal reasons.
Yes.
Like we have an amateur president.
Oh, I don't even think he raises to amateur. He oh, fuck him.
Sorry guys, I went there.
All right, anyway. So, that was it. That's what's up in the sky. That's high in the sky.
Nice.
Thanks.
All
Excellent.
right. So we got a lot of stuff going on.
We got some stuff going on, some fun stuff to see.
Oh, and we also have things to look forward to, like the comet.
Like the comet of doom.
and seeing what other space companies go bankrupt in the next 2 weeks.
Yay!
Thanks, Comet of Doom.
Thanks to coronavirus.
And thanks coronavirus. Having lived through this March, we have April to look forward to.
March isn't over yet, so let's get through the next couple of days.
It will bring.
It's just one long con of an April Fool's joke.
Oh God. And it was like in February, it was like, oh God, this has been a long year. And we hadn't even hit March yet.
Yeah.
We didn't even know, man. We didn't know. We were like babes in the woods.
I would just like to say, yes, the emotional tonality of this episode is all over the place because that's what the world is now. The emotions are all over the place. So we're just reflecting the world.
But never forget to end on a high note. Baby stars do 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 baby star do 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 baby star do 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 baby star.
Main sequence stars do 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 do. Main sequence stars do 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 do. Red giant stars do 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 do. Red giant stars do 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 do. Supernova. I don't know the rest of the song. I don't remember.
Black hole death do 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 do. Black hole death.
That's awesome.
And on that note, we're gonna see you next week for our regular episode of Cosmos with Cosmos.
About Apollo 13?
About Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. I'm excited.
We're gonna have
We will have a special guest.
Yeah, a friend
on the
of
50th anniversary of the Apollo 13.
Yes.
Accident.
So that'll be fun. So come check us out next week. Of course, we'll be on Twitch. Should hopefully have all the bugs and kinks with audio and all the other bullshit figured out.
This is why I said we should have tested it last night.
Yes, okay. I will admit this is an ID10T error on my part. An ID10T error.
Nice. Well, nice reference there, Liz.
Yeah. It's an old throwback for me, to be honest. From working at a computer store. Anyway. So again, follow us on all the things. All the Twitters and Twitches and Spotifys and iTunes, and like us and rate us, and we will see you next week with another episode of Cosmos.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Stay safe. And
Ad Astra.